Good morning, students. Today we will be discussing microanatomy of gingiva. Morphologically and functional point of view, gingiva is divided into oral and outer epithelium. This is oral or outer epithelium. And the one that lines the gingival sulcus is known as sulcular epithelium. This is sulcular epithelium which lines the gingival sulcus. And next to the sulcular epithelium is junctional epithelium. So in today's lecture, we will be discussing in detail oral epithelium, sulcular epithelium and junctional epithelium. As we can see in this diagram, oral epithelium is highly keratinized and it is having retipex. The sulcular epithelium is the one that lines the gingival sulcus and it is non-keratinized epithelium. It does not have retipex. And junctional epithelium is also non-keratinized epithelium which does not have retipex, and in healthy condition it lies at cemento-enamel junction. So first of all we will be discussing oral epithelium. Oral epithelium extends from gingival margin to alveolar mucosa. So this is gingival margin and this is alveolar mucosa. This dots, big dots are alveolar mucosa, mucogingival junction. So oral epithelium, this whole is oral epithelium. This is keratinized and it covers the clinically visible part of free gingiva and attached gingiva. It is either keratinized or parakeratinized. It is 0.2 to 0.3 millimeter in thickness. Keratin present is K1, K2, K10 and K12, K6, K16, K5 and K14. Although complete mature layer, histoenzyme reaction for acid phosphatase and pentose shunt enzyme are very strong. Glycogen content inversely related to degree of keratinization. Sulcular epithelium, which lines the gingival sulcus, it is thin, non-keratinized, stratified squamous epithelium without retipex. It extends from the coronal limit of junctional epithelium to the crest of marginal gingiva. From here, junctional epithelium to the marginal gingiva. Enzymes related to keratinization are in low degree or absent with acid phosphatase and pentose shunt. The enzymes that are involved in keratinization, these are either present in very low degree or either absent just because it is non-keratinized structure. The more the acid phosphatase, the more the pentose shunt, the more the keratinized structure will be. Sulcular epithelium has potential to keratinize. It can be keratinized only if it is reflected and exposed to the oral cavity. Next, it can only be keratinized if the bacterial flora is totally eliminated. Thus, local limitation of the sulcus prevent sulcular keratinization. Function it serves, it is semi-permeable membrane. It is not heavily infiltrated by polymorphonucleus neutrophils. Coming on to the junctional epithelium. It was first named by epithelase by Gottlieb in 1921. Later Stern named this structure as junctional epithelium. It formed the tissue attachment to the tooth surface. So it is extending from, in healthy condition it lies at the cemento-enamel junction. It is non-keratinized and does not have retipex. So what is definition? Junctional epithelium is non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium which attaches and form a collar-like band around the cervical portion of tooth. Junctional epithelium is also known as attachment epithelium. It is 3 to 4 layer thick in early life, but the number of layers increase with age up to 10 to 20 cells. The cells are grouped in two strata, stratum basal and suprabasal. The length of junctional epithelium ranges from 0.25 to 1.35 millimeter. Location. In healthy condition, it lies at cemento-enamel junction. Lysosome-like bodies are also present. Keratinosome or Odland body is absent in junctional epithelium. And Odland body or keratinosome is associated with process of keratinization. Cytokeratin of junctional epithelium K19, K5 and K14 are present, K6 and K16 absent. If you see the histological section of junctional epithelium, the cells, they are attached to one another by the help of desmosome. Desmosomal junctions are there. But if we look at the interface of epithelium and underlying connective tissue, there is presence of hemidesmosome. This hemidesmosomal layer near the connective tissue is known as external basal lamina, and the same hemidesmosomal junction that is present near the surface of tooth is known as internal basal lamina. So this is the structure of junctional epithelium. Internal basal lamina, external basal lamina, and desmosomal junctions are present, and 1 to 2% of neutrophil, they are always present in the junctional epithelium, and this does not have any retipeg in healthy condition. Zones of junctional epithelium: apical zone, cell show germinative characteristic; middle zone, cell in this zone provide adhesion to the tooth surface; coronal zone, the passage of fluid of high molecular size can thus be explained by the wide intercellular spaces and the absence of functional complex system. Development: junctional epithelium develop from reduced enamel epithelium. Turnover rate is 5 to 6 days. So these are the zone: apical, middle and the coronal one. Function: it forms the epithelial attachment apertures to the tooth surface. It forms epithelial barrier. It provides a vehicle for the bidirectional movement of substance between the gingival connective tissue and the oral cavity. It plays a role in hole defense against bacterial infection. Rapid turnover rate, rapid repair, which maintain the equilibrium. Role of junctional epithelium in the disease. Junctional epithelium in periodontitis, length is drastically reduced. Junctional epithelium is ulcerated. It is heavily infiltrated with inflammatory cells, which is seen in deep pockets. Junctional epithelium in necrotizing ulcerative gingivitis, it is destroyed and it is replaced by fibrin and necrotic epithelium. And hence, in necrotizing ulcerative gingivitis and periodontitis, pocket formation is not seen. In Kindler syndrome, it is a rare skin disorder. Due to the loss of protein kindling, junctional epithelium fail to attach to the surface of tooth. Now coming on to the junctional epithelium around implants. Junctional epithelium around implant is also known as barrier membrane, and junctional epithelial around it originate from reduced enamel epithelium, but that of implant originates from epithelial cell of the mucosa. Epithelium near implant is much thicker with few organelles. Connective tissue fibers around implant attaches to the bone parallel to implant abutment, while in natural tooth it is vertical. Let us see in the diagram. Connective tissue fiber also arise from the crest of alveolar bone from the periosteum and are oriented parallel to the implant abutment surface and extend towards the oral cavity. The fibers are oriented parallel to the surface of implant. Attachment of junctional epithelium. The junctional epithelium is attached to tooth surface by means of internal basal lamina, that is hemidesmosomal attachment, and to the gingival connective tissue by external basal lamina, that too are hemidesmosomal junction. Thank you.